Hi, first graders and your families. Hopefully you're well. This is Mr. Stevenson coming at you from our first grade classroom, and I'm making this video today just to say hi, and I want to point out a few things about the classroom. Yesterday, Mr. Lindemann sent a video about arrival and dismissal to families, so perhaps you've seen that. And that's really if you come by bus, by car, if you walk or ride your bike, kind of what that looks like on the outside, because we're going to be using the outside door to our classrooms a lot. And so I want to make a video of what it will look like once you come in the morning and what we'll kind of do each morning. And then I'll probably show you some things around the classroom. I'll show you kind of why I did things the way I did things and kind of what 6-year-olds really need typically in the classroom. And I'll probably wrap some things up, and honestly, I'll probably end up rambling. So I just want to point out that every morning I'll have on the smartboard behind me kind of a checklist of things kids can do. And we'll start off by washing our hands. I've been doing it for weeks every morning. It's really become a good routine. It's something I do now every time I get home or every time I go someplace. I just get in this routine of washing my hands. I'm going to kind of move around and show you some different places around the classroom, and then we'll keep going from there. All right, guys, we're over here, and we have all of the first graders have a bag, and what we'll do with these bags is we'll put all of our clothes in them, and then we'll also hang up our backpacks here. So right now on October 5th, you may not have a ton of clothes because it might still be kind of warm, but you may have something. But as we get closer to winter, we'll be able to put hats, gloves, mittens, scarves, snow pins, all of those things in one place, and then we're not searching for them on the floor. I've done this for a few years in the past, and I've always had success with it. And then as kids arrive, they'll hang up their backpacks, and there's hooks behind. There's another layer of hooks behind the bag so that you can't really see. But so we'll be able to hang up our things. And then kids will go, and every kid will have a cubby where they're put their water bottles and their lunch boxes or whatever their snacks are, and we will have a place for those. And the other location that kids will have to go to after they've washed their hands and put their cubbies, their drinks and food in their cubbies, is they'll be getting a take-home folder. I'm going to show you some take-home folders and what we'll use them for and where we'll put them and how we'll utilize them. So hang on. All right, guys, kind of the next area that kids will go to each morning after they've hung up their bags, put away their snack drinks and their water bottles and their lunch boxes, is we will have actual mailboxes where we'll put a few things. I already have been going through things and been filling some mailboxes with papers I have that can go home. So I'll have a basket that will have notes from home, and kids can put, if they have notes for me, if they have notes for the office, from the parents, I'll be checking these each morning. And what we'll use is every kid will have a take-home folder, and in the take-home folder, there's a side for, at the end of the day, we'll send things home with either keep at home or something that they need to return to school. And I've put a card with a little note for each of the kids that you guys can check out on Monday evening. And each day we'll be emptying our mailboxes and bringing things home. I'm going to show you a few more things, and then I'll keep moving around the room. So after our kids have put away most of their things, they're going to head to their chairs, and there'll be two things at their chairs. There'll be what I call a toolkit. It's really just a pencil box, and they're labeled. And then there'll be like this bucket that has like books and boards and things. I'm going to kind of show you what's in what. So every morning I'll have kids kind of take a look in their toolkits, and they'll kind of take inventory. And what I mean by that is we'll see if we need to replace anything. I have it so supplies are individualized, and if a kid needs something, I have them. I just need to grab them. So there's not like a place I'm not going to ever tell a kid, hey, go grab an extra this, because they're not going to know where to go. And that's mostly so kids aren't spreading any germs anywhere. To start the year, we'll have some cubes, various colors. We have these cool erasers for the whiteboards. We have scissors. We have a die. We have an eraser. We have a glue stick, some crayons, 2 pencils, and an Expo marker. So really the kids will be checking to see each morning if their pencils need to be sharpened. I have plenty. If their Expo marker or their glue stick is dried out, if they're missing some different, if they're missing like certain crayons, I probably have extras of literally every color crayon known to man, so we can get that figured out pretty quickly. But that'll be something kids will kind of sort each morning, and they'll let me know if there's something that is missing, and I'll get it for them. Also in their buckets are various things. I gave every kid a new creativity book. There's something that's known as a composition book, and what we do is, and this we'll be practicing a couple different things. We typically use this twice a week. We'll practice some sounds. For instance, I'll say a sound and kids will have to write 1 or more letters based on how you make that sound. We'll have some review words to practice. We'll have some words that we're working on. We'll have some what we call trick words. They're words I typically tape around the room, and then I'll give each kid a sentence to write. Kids usually love using these. They're very predictable. Every kid has a notebook, and what we'll use these for, we'll turn this into a book of decodable stories, which follow predictable patterns as far as consonant, vowel, consonant words, and then we kind of expand to different formats, and every text in here will kind of be something that kids will be able to decode over time, and it's really exciting. Then inside I have 2 whiteboards, or I should say 2 formerly whiteboards. I guess I need to spend some time cleaning these. One that will be holding up a lot of whiteboards for different responses and different tasks. Second whiteboard has more lines in case we want to write some sentences, which we do a lot of. Every kid will have a folder, and in this folder we'll have some our writing samples. We'll have our word work kind of packets. I'm kind of making it so I'm not passing things out as much, so I've made more packets, which I'm not huge on, but I think it's going to help us not have to pass things out. And the one thing that will be in this bucket that's not right now, because it's probably sitting in your house somewhere, is a math book. So if families want to remember to send those in, that will make my life easier, because I'll probably either A, have to make a bazillion copies, or B, have to order new ones, and then the budget gets finicky, and I don't want any of that. I'm a taxpayer in town too, so I totally get that. So send those back in. I'm going to wrap up this segment quick and I'm going to move to a new place in the room, so hang on. All right, guys, I moved over to our schedule of what our day will look like for right now. And arrival's going to be kind of staggered, and there's kind of a large arrival window. Mr. Lindemann sent some information out explaining that. It's going to start around 7:45. Kind of the information I've talked about in the previous parts of the video are kind of what kids will be working on. This is also a time where kids can eat breakfast from school. It's my understanding that breakfast from school is provided for free until the end of December, so I encourage kids and families, if they want, to take advantage of that. At 8:30 we'll start a morning meeting. It's one of my favorite parts of the day. It's a real place where I feel like I excel at, because we create a great classroom community. Kids love some of the activities we do. It's going to look a little different this year, but I'm super excited about it. Then at 9 o'clock we'll start reading in various formats. So we really do reading from 9 o'clock to 10:30. At 10:30 we'll have snack. Snack is something that should probably be coming from home. If that's a concern for you, let me know and we'll figure something out. I'm myself and I'm not going to be, we won't be ordering drinks for snack, as it's just one more logistic that would have to get ordered. So I'm encouraging families to either send in a water bottle or send in an extra drink for snack, or we'll figure something out. From 10:45 to noon, we'll be doing math in different capacities. Some math will be whole groups, some math will be kids working independently in different tasks. I'm looking forward to doing math both inside and outside. I should have said that for reading as well. We'll do it in various locations. Some of that's gonna be weather dependent and there's different factors, but I'm excited for that. At noon, we'll have lunch. Lunch will be delivered if you order hot lunch from school, or if it's lunch from home, we'll grab it from our cubbies. I should have pointed out that every time we eat, we'll start by washing our hands and ending by washing our hands. We're fortunate enough in our classroom to have 2 sinks, so that usually goes pretty quickly. 12:30 we'll have recess. Typically it'll be outside unless it's like really downpouring and raining hard, or if it's super cold and frigid. At 1 o'clock we have specials. Specials are going to be a little different this year, as it won't be kind of day to day. It will change. We kind of have 2 specials teachers at Samuel Maury for 2 weeks, and then while 2 other specials teachers are at Westshire for 2 weeks, and then they'll kind of switch. I'll be sending that information more about in an email coming soon. At 1:45 we'll do writing, which is usually my favorite part of the day. At 2:15 we'll do dismissal. Probably the first little bit, we'll probably start that process in the classroom pretty early, just so we are good to go. And I'm gonna pause here and move on to a new location for the next segment. Okay guys, I'm back where I started this video, and I just want to point out that the 2 items that you see in front of you are items you can bring back to school on Monday, October 5th. And if you can't figure out where they are, if something happened, let me know and I will figure something out. I kind of wanted to point out that in the moment I'll like pan up and show the rest of the room, but I typically have a couple carpets in here, and I don't. And historically, as a 1st grade teacher, I spend most of my day sitting on a floor. So that's going to be a big adjustment for me, as not sitting on a carpeted floor. So what I did with the with the space in the classroom is I wanted to make sure kids were spread out, and I wanted to make sure that we really utilize all of the space effectively. So what I kind of did is everyone has a chair and a bucket and a toolkit, and then some sort of surface where that they can write at. And why I did it this way is, well, there's a few reasons. Number 1 is I thought about putting kids in desks in rows and spreading them out that way. I know there's tons of pictures of that, and the reality is I've watched your kids for the last few weeks on Zoom. I know what my gut tells me. If I put a bunch of kids that have been living large on their couch or in different places next to their pets or different things, and I go and then put them in these straight rows all spread out, it's going from one extreme to the other. So I want to give kids the freedom to either sit in a chair, to stand at a surface to write, to have some room to move and wiggle, because I want them to do well. I don't want to set them up to fail by putting them in rows, and just, it didn't sit well with me. So I gave everyone a surface where that they can work at, they can write. If it's going to take some adjustment for them, I recognize that, but I think it's going to be an easier adjustment because they'll have some freedom to either sit or stand or get up and move. I'm looking forward to it, honestly. I'm excited for the opportunity to teach in a new way. I've always been someone that enjoys a challenge. And I do have some tables in here, just otherwise it'd be this massive void, and with a few tables it's less of a massive void in the center of the room. I also want to point out that I've labeled a chair for every kid. So every kid has they'll use the same chair, and kids are kind of, if I need to change spots where kids are, I'll figure that out over time. I know that everything the next few weeks is, for me as a teacher, is going to be, I'm going to need to be flexible and adapt. I totally recognize that. And I want to talk about like the instructional side of it. Typically, first graders spend a lot of days sitting on floors or working in different locations, and we're going to be utilizing whiteboards a lot and holding up answers and doing different things. If this was an older grade, I would have kids in desks, but really this age needs, for everything in general, to be thought out really methodically about how things get done. I really feel like this is something I really haven't seen done, how I'm quite doing it. I'm excited for this situation. I also want to point out and make super clear that, I don't know if you heard earlier in the video, there's a knock at the door. That knock at the door was for delivery of some plexiglass. It's here, it's in the school, they went to a different classroom. I'll get them back here when I'm done making videos for the day, which should be very shortly. And I just want to let you guys know that exists. A couple other things I want to point out is I have gallons of hand sanitizer. I just want to let you guys know that I have an excessive amount, you could even say, but there's no such thing as a first grade teacher for an excessive amount of hand sanitizer. I just want to point out two things. Number one is, if you want to send in your own for your own kid, I get that. Just let me know so I don't randomly find it in their pocket after it's exploded and then have a hand sanitizer covered in pants situation. Been there, done that. Not that much fun, be honest. So just let me know, and kids can have it at their spot. It'll be only for them. I do have the other thing I want to point out is that if you think your child needs something, let me know. I'm excited for the challenge. I'm not sure what the future brings. I am someone that's pretty super cautious, so we'll see what happens. I just wanted to make this video to kind of give you an idea of what the room's going to look like. And I'm going to wrap up the video by saying just two things. First off, every interview I've ever had in the field of education has asked the question, Mr. Stevenson, how do you envision your classroom? And I've always answered it two ways. Number one is student work will be prominently displayed, and I have got a lot of space where I can't wait to get some student work displayed. That's something that makes a classroom feel like home for kids. It makes it for a teacher for me as a teacher to look less like a blank slate. I really enjoy getting kids' work up and displayed. And my other answer to that question is when I've been interviewed is there's always a sense of what you see and what you feel in a classroom. And I, as a teacher, want kids to feel comfortable. I want them to feel safe. Kids are going to be adjusting. Families are going to be adjusting. And I just want to make abundantly clear that I'm doing a lot of things looking out for the kids. I'm really someone that cares a lot about them. I want them to do well. I want all of us to do well. And I'm going to adapt as necessary. I just want you guys to know that. If you have any questions about what that could mean, just let me know. I'm around. I hope I've answered some questions. I know I'll never be able to answer every question in a video, so just let me know if you have a concern, a comment, anything. I'm gonna wrap things up because I feel like, as I said when I started this video, I'll probably end the video by rambling. So I'll be in touch. I miss all the kids, and thank you, parents and families, for all you've done. Bye.